Good evening. We are here to talk about compromise. We would like to help you compromise. We would like to help you compromise better. Joe, how are we going to help them compromise better?
This is it right here. A better compromise.
Yes. So what is the Essential Dante? We already have the entire Divine Comedy, beautifully published in 3 volumes. We have reader's guides to go with each one. We have curriculum. So where does the Essential Dante fit in? Why are we publishing the Essential Dante?
Yes. So I am a purist, right? I think everyone should read all 100 cantos of the Divine Comedy.
Of course.
You have to read the whole thing. However, there are those in educational spheres, schools, for instance, or co-ops, where they have not yet prioritized the time it takes to read all 100. And sometimes that's from the structures of the schools themselves,
right.
And the curriculum just doesn't present enough opportunity for that. So instead, a lot of schools read only the Inferno.
Just this one.
Right. And if you read just that without reading these two,
right.
It's like reading Fellowship of the Ring and leaving Sam and Frodo in Emyn, right? Or reading Crime and Punishment and putting it down right after Raskolnikov kills the pawnbroker. Or reading just the first 2 acts of Hamlet, right?
Or leaving them in hell, to just take this example.
Right. Reading The Pilgrim and his journey through hell and saying, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Right. That's all you need for an introduction to Dante. The problem is you don't really understand hell apart from seeing heaven. You can't understand what the pilgrim is doing in hell, in the Inferno, without the beatific vision that comes at the very end of the poem. So what do we mean by compromise?
Yes.
Right? Inferno reading just the Inferno is one solution, but it's not a very good one.
It's a bad compromise.
It's a bad compromise.
Right.
It doesn't give you a good introduction to the poem. It doesn't give you a good introduction to what Dante is doing in the
right.
poem, to his thought, to his faith, to the sincerity of his Christian, his theology and his Christian philosophy and his Christian way of seeing the world. So what we have done in this, in the Essential Dante, and we explain this right up front. I don't want us to walk away from this thinking that this is all you really need.
Right.
That's not
what we mean.
That's not what we mean by essential. Rather, we are boiling it down to here are if you can read 34 cantos, which is the length of Inferno.
Right.
If you are already scheduling 34 cantos into your curriculum, into your lesson plans, here are 34 taken from the entire work. 12 from Inferno, 12 from Purgatorio, 10 from Paradiso. And giving this selection is going to be a far better, far more faithful introduction to the comedy
right.
than simply the Inferno.
Now, you also included something for the in-between cantos as well. So
yes,
explain that.
So our full text, every canto has a summary
right.
that precedes it, that gives a detailed, explanatory overview of that canto.
It's about a page and a half.
Yeah, it varies in length depending on the complexity of the canto.
Right.
And the number of characters that need to be explained and
right.
introduced.
Right.
So what we have done in this is we have kept those summaries in front of each of the 34 cantos that we represent, and then in between, covering the ones that we skipped, we include just the summary. So you have all 100 summaries.
That way the students still keep the arc.
Can still have the full narrative, the full story. As they read through.
And not truly, it's still a compromise.
It's still a compromise, but it's a better compromise.
Right.
Yeah, it's helping you see the full scope of what Dante is doing so that you can understand Inferno, so that you can understand what he's doing in that first work while also seeing the whole work itself.
So the real goal, though, is that we give this teaser
yes.
to instead of just doing Inferno and saying, "Oh, I've done Dante's Divine Comedy," or the one everyone reads, and then not realizing the arc and what he's doing.
Right.
They are given a not just excerpts. These are full cantos, but they're given a real taste of it, such that we hope there will be an uprising in schools. We want students revolting, saying, "How dare you get the Essential Dante.
Why are we not doing the whole thing?
We need the full Dante.
That's right.
And that would be a success. If
Yes.
schools call us and say, this was really great, but we're going to switch to
We would love
reading the full Divine Comedy next year.
We would love to make this out of print.
Yes, exactly. But it is it's a better compromise.
Yes.
So that is the Essential Dante. And then you also include a little bit
more, yeah.
Other works as well.
So what really helped me settle in my own mind that yes, okay, a volume like this would be helpful was not only the idea of presenting a better compromise, a better introduction to the whole work, but something like this allows us to include selections from everything else that he wrote. So the La Vita Nuova, Il Convivio,
right.
De Monarchia, de Vulgari Eloquentia, even his epistles, several of his epistles, and even selections from something that nobody publishes anymore, Questio de Terra et Aqua, Aqua et Terra. So the question of water and earth, which is a lecture that he gave right at the end of his life, and nobody considers it, and it's a really interesting little bit of natural philosophy coming from it. So. About
100 pages, 80 pages maybe, are those excerpts.
That latter portion is selections, and they're selections that were chosen because of how they relate to the comedy. Right. So these aren't just random selections. Rather, they're specifically chosen because of how they act as either an introduction to ideas in the comedy or further explanations of ideas that he has presented in the comedy.
So, if your school has only room for the Inferno, we would like to help you compromise better, adopt the Essential Dante instead of leaving your students in hell.